When the marketplace and trading come on the 29th of October, it will be a very important day, but it is also the day that Genesis goes away. So while you will be able to acquire Genesis cards on the marketplace from other players, that will be the day that you can no longer acquire them from us.
Yes.
So not too far away here.
If you're a competitive player, I would definitely, and you're just tuning in, maybe you've seen on Twitter or anything like that, definitely try and get your hands on the Genesis cards sooner rather than later, otherwise you'll have to go to the secondary market. So here's the Genesis board. Looks pretty cool. This is the novice one, which I think is the lowest.
That's the lowest.
This is the lowest quality, so it gets even better as it goes on. Something else to note as well is that the opponent's board is the temple. So if our opponent was using a big dragon as well, a Genesis board, we would see that on their side as well. So your opponent will get to see your big flexy dragon.
Though, as you can see with the name showing all the time, the AI internally has played a lot of games, very high level. It's gotten a little bit more wins in there than either you or I have at this point.
Yeah. Something else to note, really small thing, is this is now default open. I know it's a really small change, but the first thing I do when I play against someone is click on that to see who I'm playing against. So yeah, default open now, which is awesome.
Dreadful Reaper. Is there going to be signatures for people like me who make YouTube content or on a regular basis but not stream? And that is a good question. That remains unanswered. Exactly how widespread we allow the signing to be is an open question. If you've got strong feelings of that, put it in the chat, talk about it on Discord in the feedback area. Let us know what you think.
So you can double click to play it, and something you'll immediately notice is we now have a counter for burn and regen, which is awesome.
Yeah, and as some of you may have noticed, things are going to be moving much more quickly. We've removed a lot of the unnecessary time between play actions, which I think feels pretty amazing. Another one that was a little tiny change is when you go and click on the turn, it now goes right over and slams down. So anywhere we can find a place to just smooth out the tempo of the game, it's something that I want to get to. We haven't gotten everything yet, but this is definitely a big step forward. Another one of the things, I'm going to grab the mouse and play a card, is when I'm dragging out cards now, you'll notice that they stay full size, so you can actually read them instead of them shrinking down. Get a little, and look at that. The chain actually points where it's supposed to point. I know that's a little thing, but it drove me crazy.
It's also much smaller now too.
Yes. Part of the reason it's looking big there is just the cards up high, yes. But when using a guide power or using it for attack, it's quite a bit smaller.
Something else that personally bothered me was the void. It was very hard to read cards in the void. So now, actually much more readable. You can read the cards in the void, which is very useful.
Yeah, so anyone who's playing an Afterlife deck and needing to go find your Afterlife cards.
Yes. So something I just quickly wanted to talk about was our Genesis voting. So if you've purchased packs right now in Genesis, you can actually vote on goals to help us prioritize things. This is like maybe the first step or one of the first steps in getting community interaction on how what
we're doing next.
Yeah. We want you to be, and we're going to keep saying this, we want you to be as involved as possible. So we can see some of the goal leaders, and when you buy a pack, you get to click and vote, which is awesome.
Though I think we are coming towards the end of some of the voting, but even for the things that weren't fully funded, they still give us a lot of information about where the community wants things to go. So thank you everybody for participating in that. A quick question on how many trinkets. Current plan is at least one right here on the left, one right here on the right. And we're looking at having those be dynamically placed depending on the board. So, that's where I imagine they would go on Genesis. On a different board, they may be elsewhere. Genesis and Temple are both set up essentially for those locations. And we are experimenting with future boards that they won't go there. But we'll see.
Forwarding if anyone who hasn't seen it. So I'm going to show you what gold to diamond looks like. So we've got Basically, you can combine a number of cards to make them a high quality version, so gold to diamond being the last step. And in this process, we have the Amplurial Sentient Shard, which is a fan favorite.
Super strong.
Yeah.
Favorite or hated?
I think it's...
I kind of goes both ways.
Yes. There's definitely people out there who want this card deleted. Cool, so fusing... a lot of you might have seen this screen, but for those of you who haven't, it's a really good way to upgrade your skins and looks. And I personally love this, so like it lets any of your redundant plain copies turn into better ones.
I want to update both Quick Seal and Quick Draft so that there is more of a common pool that people are pulling from. And I don't think it's a super secret that we can't share that for me, I've always been a huge limited player, and part of that for me is the sanctity of everybody on the same playing field. So getting to the point where we have paid modes where you're opening packs of cards, you're keeping those cards and playing with those cards is definitely on my agenda. No ETA right now. I would say that's more in the dreaming phase of things.
Once 1v1 matches is unlocked, that might lead to a lot of things like community-run tournaments. So I'm really excited to see that.
As somebody who has played in many community-run tournaments, I'm really excited to get to that point where you can challenge a specific person. Obviously, there will be some restrictions around that in terms of rewards and prizes when you're playing in those matches to avoid exploits. But at the same time, tournaments. Yay, tournaments.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I know we've seen someone in the Discord recently post about earning minimum wage in their country just from playing our game. When I read that, that blew my mind. And I personally regretted all of the other card games that I've ever played, or just video games that I've ever played where I didn't earn anything, because it felt like time wasted at that point. Beyond unbelievable to me. And the person who did it in chat, that's amazing. Super, super cool.